Is your bearded dragon giving you some attitude and misbehaving? Today, I'm going to talk about something that a lot of bearded dragons go through called the teenage stage. Now, this is a lot of dragons go through this. It's a stage where the bearded dragons become aggressive and not always aggressive, but it's just like they need an attitude adjustment. When you go into the cage, they might flatten their body, flare it around towards you. They could open their mouth at you. They're not very happy, and they are displaying behavior towards you that is undesirable, to say the least. So what happens is that something stresses the dragon out. There's a change in the environment. There could be new pets in the home. A lot of the times, something like this could happen when I ship a dragon to a new owner, and it's because it's just in a new environment. It's a new deal. So a dragon with me could be completely well-behaved dragon, and then when they get to a new owner, they're like, what is going on with this dragon? Why is it behaving this way towards me? So I have a couple tips and tricks that I would recommend trying if you're going through this. If you would describe your bearded dragon's behavior as aggressive or violent or anything like that. Now, it's important to know that bearded dragons and reptiles in general are very different than warm-blooded animals, humans. They don't display affection the same way we do. So just as a general rule of thumb, I would not expect that. And some bearded dragons, as adults, just don't really like to be handled very often, and that's okay. And I would just kind of respect them, respect their space. That said, I shy from using always and never, but pretty much all bearded dragons are handleable to some degree as in adulthood. I've never personally met one, not saying they're not out there or it can't happen, but I've never personally met one that is completely unhandleable, like you can't touch or it'll bite your hand off. Now, like I said though, some can behave in a way that it's just like they don't really want to be handled, and they might let you know it, but you can handle them on occasion. That's not most dragons though. Most dragons are very well with being handled. So if you're going through a stage where they are going through the teenage stage, the first thing I would suggest is to look at yourself. I would check your, just look inside yourself and see how you feel when you're around your dragon. Are you stressed? Are you anxious? Are you fearful? Any of these things can trigger a bearded dragon to behave this way. And they really can sense the energy in the air, and they can feed off of it. So check yourself first. Make sure that you're always calm, cool, collected. Kick the fear out. There's no reason to be scared of them. So make sure you're good. The next thing I would do if your bearded dragon has slipped into this kind of behavior is just kind of give them a week or two to just kind of chill in their cage. Don't mess with them. Let them be. You can bathe them regularly and feed them regularly, but for the most part, I would stop handling. Just kind of let them be. It kind of gives them a reset just to be able to be in their cage and not mess with it all. The next thing I would do after this is begin handling interactions again, minimally at first and working up from there. When you go into the cage to get your dragon, I would go in underneath like this, never over the top. Over the top can trigger a predatory response in them. And if they're already kind of in this mind frame where they're fearful, scared, trying to get away, that's just going to make them even more so scared. And they're going to associate you with a predator. So always underneath. When you're holding the dragon, I would hold them securely enough that they can't get away from you. I like to hold my fingers. They don't really. I like to hold my fingers kind of behind the head and underneath, so that if they do want to bite or try to wiggle, she's being a great example. She's usually really laid back and easygoing. But if they try to get away from you, don't let them. hold them securely enough so they can't get away from you. You obviously don't want them falling to the floor, hitting the floor. And you also don't want them to be able to wiggle out enough so that they can turn around and bite you. So, and also don't squeeze them or hold them firmly enough that they like can't breathe. You know, you want it to be firm enough so that they can't wiggle out of your grip, but that's it. And usually after a little while of doing that, they come around and they're easy to handle again. Not always though. Some are persistent. And look at her. That's the predatory response I was saying. She's like holding her under me. I'm above her. She's like, what's going on up there? You know? So after a while of doing this, oh, thank you. Thank you. So after you've done this, if weeks have gone by and you're not seeing progress, don't give up. Persistence is key here. Something else you can try, if your dragon is like particularly bitey or trying to snap at you, when they open their mouth, slip a little piece of green in or a bug or something like that. Usually they start chomping. It switches the brain from fight or flight to eating, and now they're happy again. So these are the things I would try, and my biggest piece of advice would be to stay persistent. Don't give up. If you stop completely and stop handling them and you're always scared, it's never going to get better, and it's going to encourage them to keep that behavior up because it's keeping them alive. So it makes sense that they would keep doing that if they're achieving the desired result, which is to keep you away if they're scared of you. So don't give up. Keep at it, and it will get better. Like I said, I don't use always and never, but I have not personally ever seen a dragon stay in this stage. And that's why I felt it important to talk about, you know, bearded dragons and how they're different, because sometimes you do have adult dragons that really just don't like to be handled very much, don't like human interaction, but I've never met one that doesn't tolerate people eventually. Now, if they go through this stage, it's important to just work with them as much as you can. I always tell people that what you put into them, you will get out of them. And I've yet to personally have one go through this and not snap out of it. So I hope that you all found this video helpful. Please like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. I hope you all have a blessed rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.